You know, something happened on Saturday to me. I went to this party where they said some people should wear yellow, some people should wear blue, some people should wear, you know, different colors. And I heard some people saying, I didn't have this color. When I looked in my car, I didn't have yellow. When I looked, I didn't have red. You know, sounded strange to me because I kind of have all the colors, you know. So I now sat back and reflected. There was a time that I didn't have all the colors now, you know. So, so you take for granted what you have, and then you now forget that
you can't connect.
You know that you lose that connection, and that's what's happening with our politicians. They have lost. They have forgotten that there was one time they didn't have. So they have lost that connection with the rest of us, and the idea saying, hey, "Let the poor breathe now." No, if you don't try to start to think of yourself. How you were back then, you will not be able to rule or lead. I prefer to use lead because ruling is, you know.
Okay. How are you doing? Let me come to Nemo. Why is it this
today is Yemi Legend's 50th birthday.
Oh my Lord!
It's not that we know.
How would you know this?
I got an invite.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yemi Legend. Alaji Yemi Legend. I cannot pronounce his surname. It's tongue twisting. But congratulations. Many more.
Happy birthday
prosperous
to him.
Yes.
May God bless him, increase him. He's such a kind-hearted man.
He invites me, Shao. No, I'm his customer.
I'm back to back.
Because Yemi Legend will not forget my birthday.
So I mean, he has a connection with Nima, so it's fine. So he can connect to you on our behalf.
Does not have the same connection with you.
No, but we didn't get an invite. So there's a special connection, which is okay. We are happy for you.
We're happy.
Enjoy on our behalf. Enjoy on our behalf. Because we are all customers, and we, in fact, he did have in fact. So he's a good person, and we're happy for him. Happy birthday! This is a big age, and it's something that we're really happy for you. Happy birthday, Legend. How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm good. So today is the children's school carol. They usually do a lot of drama, and I feel so bad because I am the reason my son isn't going to do anything. He told his teachers that they told him he can't keep up with the practice time because they have to come very early to do rehearsals. And he casted me. He said, "I'm always ready. Mommy keeps me late." I said, "Wow, this is so sad. I need to turn a new leaf." So New Year resolution.
Next year. Better write it and paste it.
We feel your weakness.
Yeah, so we're gonna work on it.
So my kids too are in the play. My daughter is in the play. My son is like an angel. My daughter is one of the gossip sisters saying that, "Did you hear that Mary, that girl, all her shakara has like I'm thinking, so she's rehearsing, and so yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But unfortunately, I have to travel to.
We saw your video doing the hair.
Oh yeah, because they told us that we thought we were going to do it braids, but then I said, "Do shukus too." So I was not looking for. It was last minute. So I said, "Let me just go do this." Instead of looking for somewhere to look in. All right,
skills.
In the new school, okay?
No. They have the school play. I thought they were going to give them style for the school play. The younger one, yeah. So I had to do their hair. Okay, let me go on a quick break. When we return, we look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Tinubu, I won't lose battle against bandits and terrorists. Why the nation swept all stakes at prestigious 32nd day. How budget 2024 will grow economy. Why we dumped PDP for APC by Rivers Assembly members. CBN suspends charges on bulk cash deposits. Osihe Oshoala rule Africa. Osime Oshoala rule Africa. Adeleke's continuous absence raises dust in Oshun. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Congratulations to our Osime and Aziza Oshoala for the CAF award that they got for best footballer and best female footballer in Africa. But I have the Mambila Power Project in the nation. So the Minister for Power, Adelabu Adebayo, was explaining before the House Committee on Power, and he was explaining why there was no provisions for the Mambila Power Project in the 2024 budget. He said this is, of course, because they are under litigation right now. The Sunrise Power Transmission Company Limited had on October 10th, 2017, sued the federal government at the International Court of Arbitration, administered by the International Chamber of Commerce in Paris, France, for breach of contract over the 2003 agreement to construct 3,050 megawatt plant in Mambila, Taraba State on a build and operate transfer basis for $6 billion. And they're still presently in court. And it says, based on that, it cannot be deliberated upon. But the Zungeru hydropower project, which is expected to generate 700 megawatts of electricity, will be ready. He said it is 99.8% ready. It is almost completed, and it will be ready, and he intends to start operating it this year. That means in these 3 weeks, we will see it work immediately, and that we have
like that these 3 weeks,
so that we don't have a problem. He said we don't have any problem with Zungeru.
Yeah.
But my concern is that because the grid collapse, which I will take in another paper, is power generation the issue or transmission?
Let me take our budget 2024. So the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, was speaking yesterday. He listed fiscal discipline, targeted tax incentives, and innovative revenue generation as some of the strategies designed for them to have to boost the economy next year. He was talking when he was trying to defend his 27.5 trillion naira budget to the National Assembly yesterday. He highlighted 3 key elements, saying that he plans to prioritize savings within the budget, essentially suggesting a focus on fiscal consolidation. Tax incentives will be applied as strategy to boost economy, adding that government has no plan to raise taxes or levies. He said the government is considering tax cuts and other measures to encourage investment and economic activities. He said that there's no plan to actually to increase the tax because people are speculating.
I was going to check the controversy that is trailing Adeleke's overseas trip. The All Progressive Osun State chapter have said that he has been absent for over 30 days. They were surprised that he was absent during his 1-year anniversary, and Adeleke's spokesperson has come out to say, look, he went on holiday, he's resting, and he's seeing investors. He said he also went to rest. But they are saying he went for an operation on his knee. PDP is denying it. And I'm just surprised that APC, instead of them to keep quiet, they have their own crisis. And they are talking about another person.
Yeah, but why would you? I mean, the judge just like, where are you going to arrest for? Did they just swear? When was this one in?
So, no, it's maybe his health. They just don't want to say it is.
We don't know if it's health, though. We don't know that for sure.
If it is not,
they are saying he went for holiday, he went for vacation.
They are saying he's not medically fit, but there are rumors that it is his knee. If it's his knee, his health is okay now. It's just his knee.
Let's speak almost
in a glass house should not be
closed. That's my point.
That's YK's point, and I think it is very valid. Now, let's talk about history being made by Nigerians on the sporting level. We've had history being made by Nigerians in the entertainment industry. Congratulations to Victor Osimhen and Asisa Toshola. I can always remember my picture with Asisa Toshola.
Yes.
But they were both crowned male and female African Footballer of the Year 2023. And it was a stiff competition for Victor Osimhen, who was having to deal with Morocco's Hakimi and Egypt's Mohamed Salah. And for him, in his speech, he acknowledged his mentor, Emmanuel Amunike. He said that Emmanuel Amunike gave him a platform in the under-17 in 2015, and he would not even have the opportunity to be here if not for that moment. So this is, Oshoala also supported women, but I want to highlight Emmanuel Amunike, and the reason I'm doing this is there will be a stage in our lives as adults that we will need to step out. Somebody else will take the stage, and it will be good if you give somebody else that opportunity so that when they take that podium, they will remember your name and will talk about you for good. So now we are able to celebrate Emmanuel Amunike for giving a platform to Victor Osimhen. So congratulations to all Nigerian football lovers.
The Punch. PDP moves to replace 27 pro-Wiki Assembly defectors. Tinubu condemns police station burning, tells army to protect democracy. Amoteco arrests 62 suspected criminals in Ondo. CAC to delist over 91,000 companies over infractions. Power generation crashes to 43.5 megawatts as grid collapses again. Labour fumes as FG stops 35,000 naira award payment. CBN cancels large depositors' fines amid naira scarcity. Okay, which story are we starting with in Punch?
Okay.
Nima, you have a story?
Look, let me go. Yes.
I was going to take CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. They set to delist over 91,000 companies for failing to file their annual returns. They had published that list of companies for the list. And also they said this is still less than the initial 100,000 companies that CAC had said it would remove in an earlier announcement. They said CAC steps up enforcement of over 100,000 companies to go off its register for failure to file an annual return. In the update, said further to its earlier notice of the commencement of striking off the names of the companies, the Commission hereby notifies the general public that the list of companies that have failed to comply with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 to file up their date shall be removed, and is a public notice to all. I think they're going to remove them within 30 days. So if they don't do that, they're going to have to be delisted. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with our paper review. When we come back, we continue.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Vanguard the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So,
okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? Think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be staring. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch.
Power story. So our power grid yesterday went like this, straight down from 4,032.8 megawatts to 43.5 megawatts. As in 1,000 yellow, all the hundreds low, all the tens went to 43.5 megawatts at 2 p.m. yesterday, and the TCN said that they restored it, they've worked on it, the engineers were on top of it, but for that yesterday was crawling up from 115 to around 3 p.m. to 240 around 4 p.m. and it stood at 544 at 5 p.m. yesterday. That was the best they could do. But the spokesperson of the TCN insists that yes, there was a collapse, but it has been restored by the engineers. See, this morning we did not see lights. It was full darkness all through, no blink of light. And they said that it's been restored except for just axis, and they are the only ones that have not been fully restored. There's not fully restoration. I hope the power minister is like the minister for interior, because we need magic.
I've been calling him out since inception that we're not hearing from him. It is really, really bad. We cannot continue to have transmission is under government, so they cannot blame anybody.
Yeah. Which story are we taking this?
The Ondo State Security Network, also known as Amotekun, paraded about 62 people yesterday who were on various criminal offenses, and they said they are doing this because they want the festive seasons to be crime-free, and they worked with the security agencies, the police, the NSCDC, DSS, and they are making sure that this December, no crime in Ondo State.
So I'm taking the story of the organized labor. The organized labor has said that the federal government, there's a collision cost. They are on a collision cost with the federal government because the federal government has been unable to sustain the 35,000 naira wage award. So after the subsidy was taken out, the undue hardship on workers, the president, Bola Tinubu, had said that there was going to be 35,000 naira to each worker to reduce the hardship caused by subsidy removal. That amount was only paid for September. Findings from based on the correspondence got the information that apart from September, it wasn't paid since then, and the wage award is why the organized labor is now on a collision course with the federal government. The civil servants have complained based on Punch reports. They said that everything that they've heard is true. The government paid once. They promised that it will not go on strike on the agreement that this 35,000 will be paid on everybody's salary, but they only got paid once, and that they are hoping the government would lean in and fulfill their part of the agreement. Now, I don't want the government to wait until labor threatens strike or anything. If we agree to something, we should do it, because we can see money is being spent on other things. We can see money going to other areas. Let's pay people that need this money desperately, especially in this season.
Okay, so moving on now to Daily Sun. Tunumbiri, victims of bombing Errol get justice, says Sultan. 5,000 jobs lost as PZ, GSK, PNG, others exit Nigeria. The sun shines at Diamond Awards. CBN suspends charges on large cash deposits. TCN, why stable power supply is not feasible. Deliver justice with fear of God, Catholic archbishops tax judges. And Rivers, fears for governor's removal as 27 lawmakers defect to APC. Let me take the 5,000 jobs. I think we've taken this story a few times, but in addition, according to this report, recent plans by some multinational companies to exit the country may affect an estimated number of 5,000 jobs from our economy. The latest loss projection with companies like PZ Cousins, GlaxoSmithKline, PNG, and amongst others, recently gave reasons why they decided to pull out because of the worsening operating environment in Nigeria. So experts have said about 5,000 Nigerians will be out of work based on this decision. The committee obviously cited the issues of the harsh operating environment, forex illiquidity and volatility, soaring inflation and interest rates hike said to have weakened the purchasing power of consumers, leaving them to grapple with higher operating costs. Also, a company, I think Guinness, has also announced that by April 2024, it will no longer import or distribute certain Diageo international premium spirits such as Baileys, Johnny Walker, Singleton, and others. All those that I love, we are always enjoying. They're going to stop importing them because of the cost of importation. So, and I mean, it says that according to the notice, they are saying that many of these companies, when they eventually leave, it will lose many jobs will be lost. But I think many of us have actually discussed floating of the naira for many years. It was finally done, but we didn't realize the kind of hardship it was going to bring, even not just for lots of jobs, but
but the floating of the naira has not been successful. I think is the main problem, because the bank rate and the black market rate is still, the disparity is what it is. It's I think 900 and something in the banks and 1,140 in the black market. So there's still a huge So I was going to take the story of the gunmen killing 7 people in the Anambra nightclub in and they headed a security man. Apparently they went. They went to kidnap. The owner of the club. But the security people were, they resisted, so they killed them. They just started to fire sporadically, and then they beheaded the security man. And that one that they beheaded was because he resisted them taking his boss. And I think I really wanted to take this story because that is commendable. And I hope that if they didn't succeed in kidnapping the boss, that he will compensate that guy's family. Because he really fought for his Oga.
I don't know about that one of his comment.
But like you sacrificed.
Ask your wife. Ask his wife. Wife will not think it's
but like at least when they tell the story, they will say Daddy died.
He died.
I hope that the person that he paid that price for knows the value of life.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Because they were there just having fun when these people just entered to kidnap.
Okay. So I have the CBN story. The CBN has suspended charges on bulk cash deposits. So before, if you deposit above 500,000, you pay a 2% processing fee. And if you pay deposits for corporate entities, a 3% fee for cash deposit above 3 million. And so the CBN has put a temporary policy which stops such payment for 143 days starting yesterday. According to the CBN Acting Director of Banking Supervision, Adetono Adedeji, bank customers in the FCT has appealed to the Apex Court to urgently address this cash crunch issue. And so they have put a temporary stop to it till April 30th, 2024, so that to encourage people to bring in their cash deposits and maybe, they can stem this cash scarcity issue.
I think it's a very good policy. I think it is also it's a good move at the right time. Like, this is government responding to the crisis of the people. Because I had to pay when our spray money was going to be deposited, and I didn't like it. And it's important that we make it. I want to take the story about the justices. So the 50th anniversary of, no, not anniversary. Yeah, it's anniversary. 50th anniversary of Federal High Court judges took place at the Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja yesterday. And the Archbishop of the Catholic Diocese of Abuja, Ignatius Kaigama, has urged the judges in the country to deliver justice with fear of God. He explained he was represented by Christopher Nobi. That's the judicial vicar for the Catholic Church in Abuja. And they're just urging judges that that's the hope of the people.
Yes,
that the justice system is the hope of the hopeless, and it's an opportunity to strengthen the weak in the society. And it is the responsibility of the judges to give hope. So they said they should deliver the justice with the fear of God. They shouldn't be bought, and that everything the judges do, they as judges would answer before God at the final day. And basically that's just it, and congratulated them for the new appointees, and we're hoping for the same as well. We are joining the Catholic archbishops to tell the justices to please deliver justice with the fear of God and with speed.
Okay, Vanguard banks ration cash as Naira scarcity worsens. North Muslim presents PDP candidate in 2027, says Bode Judge. Rivers defection, PDP LP kick as APC welcomes 27 lawmakers. Energy security, households bemoan as LPG price rises 23% to 12,000 naira. Insecurity, I won't lose battle to keep Nigeria secure, says Tinubu. Ondo impasse, Tinubu summons Deputy Governor Speaker to Aso Villa. FG to return 27.5 trillion naira appropriation bill to National Assembly for increase. Judges must leave above suspicion. Okay, which story? Vanguard?
I have the Tinubu wades into the Ondo impasse. According to a source that the Vanguard did not disclose, the president has summoned the deputy governor of Ondo State, Loki Aiyedatiwa, and the speaker of the State House of Assembly, Olamide Oladiji, and others to Abuja, of course, again, because of the crisis rocking in the state. And they said that hopefully by the time they come back, the issues that took them to Abuja would have been resolved. The source insists that a lasting solution to the political logjam occasioned by the absence of Governor Akeredolu because of his medical issue would have been resolved. So I just wanted to refer to that because also in the same story, Showore is going to Ondo State to go and protest. And the Campaign for Democracy group are insisting that they would bring the people diverting funds and, faking the signature of the governor. So a lot of issues are still there.
Okay, so the president yesterday vowed that the battle to keep Nigeria secured was one battle he would not lose. He spoke yesterday at the Chief of Army Staff annual conference in Maiduguri. He said he has no intention of relenting or resting on his laurels in securing Nigeria, adding that he would win the battle to keep Nigeria safe. He said that the professional conduct of the armed forces during the elections in Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi states underscores their role as guardians of our nation and our constitution and democracy precepts. In this regard, the Nigerian army must remain completely non-partisan but vigilantly pro-democracy. We also note that great satisfaction. He also noted the great satisfaction the many civilian military projects across the country, some of which will be commissioned during the conference. All right. So
the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, had a story inside the papers, explained that the federal government is committed to building 1 million houses for internally displaced and vulnerable citizens at the cost of 3 million naira each. The minister also mentioned that the government would commit 30% of the funds, while the communities and development partners would provide 70%, and the initiative would provide permanent. Said the 1 million household is a target. 1 million household, to an average of 5 million. Nigerians will receive shelter, and the ministers has assured the IDPs that the international partners that the house will be a standard one, and people will be involved directly. I'm looking forward to this. People are still trying to recover from the crisis that rocked Nigeria within the northeast part of the country, and we're hoping that as they resettle them back, we don't swap Boko Haram for what do they call them now? Bandits or whatever names to still inflict damage on these people who are now, and then will not be wasting funds. So let the people also take responsibility as the government is helping them to resettle.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, more to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without one.
Wow.
So there's a name that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just.
Yeah.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it.
Thanks for staying with us. So there seems to be no end in sight to the scarcity of cash across the country as bank customers are unable to make huge withdrawals from various commercial banks, with many ATMs not dispensing cash. POS operators are beginning to increase charges on cash withdrawals. And this is despite the Supreme Court judgment which has declared that old and new naira notes can coexist as legal tenders until further notice. So, have you experienced or heard of the people around you concerning this cash scarcity? I know for one, I had sent somebody to the bank yesterday with a check to withdraw money, and she was unable to. They told her that the best they can give her is 20,000 naira, that she should come back and she should get another check for 20,000 naira. And I said, what's the point? So call us on the numbers, because we'd like to open our phone lines to Nigerians to hear your own experience, because sometimes when we complain about this, until our leaders hear from Nigerians, you might not understand how much the shoe pinches. So you can call us on 081-076-41679, 0902-4163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Okay. Right, have you been to the bank recently, or have you sent somebody to the bank?
Yes. What we do is we give them notice that we need cash in 2 days' time, so they will
So it's
now,
different for you.
wait, we'll be able to get money. So I haven't really experienced it, but I've been hearing it. And I'm wondering what's causing it. Because, you know, last year we understood the
Earlier,
reason.
still this year. We're still in the same year.
No, it was
Last year now. Last year, December.
Yes, now the whole between December and January, that's when there's cash crunch.
So it was December 15 that they changed the money, and
Yes,
they said,
now.
you know, so by end of the year, everybody said, don't knock. Now,
Same thing.
it's happening again, like it's anniversary. Please, they should please help tell us what is happening. Is it that Naira don't finish for market? If Naira has finished, what do we do? Is it that Emefiele burnt all the Naira at that time? So we don't have
That was the
money.
sad truth, though. Yes, no.
So what, so what, I mean, let's open the phone lines for the
Talk
Nigerians.
now. What
It's not. So let's tell ourselves the truth. This is a man-made crisis. This is not a government policy-made crisis. The last year's one was a government policy-made crisis. This is we the people wanting ourselves. Yeah, man-made crisis as per last year government policy. We knew Emefiele happened to Nigerians last year. This year, Nigerians are happening to Nigerians. Nigerians are hurting Nigerians. We are hoarding money, and it is costing Nigerians money. This is not a government thing. They should not call CBN governor. It's not Cardoso. It's not Tinubu. This is you and I, because I went to a party. They sprayed me money. I gathered the money. My husband was like, let's pay it to the bank. I said, no, let's not pay it to the bank. I held it for 2 weeks. Later, my husband forced me. I paid it to the bank at a percentage. And after doing that, several other people are keeping their money in their vault, thinking that I don't want to have to go to bank and they will say there's not enough money. And because all of you are keeping it, we don't have enough money. That's what they came out to say, it's that nobody is depositing. How would the bank run when you don't deposit your money? If all of you are hiding money inside your pocket, inside your colo, where would the money come in? So other businesses are suffering because some people are sad and say, I was once beaten, I am 5 times shy.
Let me ask you this question.
to ask.
That money that they sprayed you, where did they get it from? Every party I have been to, I have seen new Naira notes. I don't say old Naira notes.
That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
No, but they're getting the money from somewhere.
So there was dirty money there, plenty dirty money.
So
let's remind ourselves that
there's the issue of those taking out money from CBN directly. There are those that were getting money from either from the means or from the CBN, whatever it is. They're getting money directly and they're selling to these. There's a cabal. You know of this cabal, this cartel of people that they actually plan and they sell it to them. Today. That is one issue. The second issue is that you and I cannot withdraw money. And she's saying that it's because many are not depositing because banks have come and say, we're not seeing funds. Now, it's possible that Nigerians are hoarding their cash. And that's why the banks don't have money. Because for whatever reason, we're unable to get cash. So we're opening our phone lines to Nigerians. So please call in to share their own experiences with us. Go ahead, Nima.
So let's remind ourselves that there was a cash redesign policy that brought about this. So we had a new note alongside which the court just recently waived. Also, there was a cash withdrawal limit placed on withdrawals, which put us to about 100,000 per week and 20,000 daily. I think. Let me quickly see. Maximum cash withdrawals over the counter by individuals will henceforth be per week 100,000.
Yes, company
and 500,000 respectively. Yeah. Withdrawals above these limits shall attract processing fees of 5% and 10% respectively. Third-party checks of 50,000 naira shall not be eligible for payment over the counter, while extant limits of 10 million on clearing checks still subsist. The maximum cash withdrawal per week at ATMs shall be 100,000, subject to a maximum of 20,000 cash withdrawals daily. And you say there should not be cash scarcity. Even this money, they say, is a temporary waiver on the deposits to make sure that they bring in. If I do a cash business, I need cash. And if I go to bank and I ask for my money, which was what people were experiencing that year, people were running mad. And bank say, no, we have limit on how much of your money I can pay you. If it's you collect cash later. You not put it inside colo in the house so that you have cash the next day for your business. Yeah. So this problem, yes, you can call it people man-made, whatever you want to call it. But this stops at the bulk of government. This was a policy that cost Nigerians almost their lives, not just their livelihood.
But they've come to tell us. They've come
now
to tell us otherwise.
They've come to tell us.
Yes.
If the people need a while to build the trust, and the limits have still not been lifted until this morning that we were reading that.
So a woman who wants to pay for hospital bills will be told that the limits will wait.
It's still 20,000.
No, you can't do other means now.
Wait, it's still 20,000 cash.
For cash, yes.
We can remove it because the entire policy was a flop from beginning.
That's not the
issue today.
The issue today
what is the issue now?
Is that policy, that cash limits, that cash withdrawal limit has been in place all through this year. All through this year.
Yes.
But how come it is in December?
Season.
It now led to crisis.
Season.
It became a crisis
for business
because some people have decided they want to exploit Nigerians. Some group of people have decided they want to exploit Nigerians in this season.
Who are the
people like you and I who are
not you and I, maybe you and your friend.
No, I'm not saying human. I'm saying human beings, Nigerians like you and I have sat down to say that okay, I am a POS work person.
Okay, good.
I am going to hold the money. I'm going to now, because if POS association
odd cash,
they will make more money now. Somebody posted now on YouTube that he paid 500 naira to withdraw. Let me get it right. Said, I paid 500 naira. How can you be paid 500 naira? Like, we're back to what happened in January. He said, it cost me, I can't get 50K. POS charged me 500 naira to withdraw 10,000 naira. The bank said I can only take 5,000 naira. So you have to go to POS. So you take 5K from the bank, you go to POS, and POS allows you. So there is a crisis on ground. And some people are going to profit. They will make millions from this crisis.
It's you coaches. You are the financial coach that tell them to find solution for a problem and make their money from the solution. Now, a POS is also limited by all the cash limits. So which cash did they keep? It's not the one they are using for their businesses.
Elizabeth. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Are you going to shut down their businesses?
Come back to your name. Good morning, Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth.
Eli.
We lost that. Yes, go ahead, Nima.
So are you going to shut down a POS's business? For instance, maybe the person does 1 million transactions daily. And if he goes to bank, in a week, they cannot give him more than 100,000. If you have cash, you will not go and look for vote. Government can solve this whole problem by just taking off this cash limited. So that even me and you can't go to POS to withdraw. We will go to our bank and take our money.
Banks don't have cash. If you don't, Nima, if I don't put cash limit, that means you're not thinking about the person who needs money. So, for example, because if you remove the cash limit, I have the capacity to go and remove 10 million naira. Now, somebody who only has 20,000 naira in her account, she won't have money to withdraw because Morale is allowed to take 10 million. That's why they are trying to ensure that it goes round. I have to put a limit so that Morale doesn't take more than X amount of money.
And I'm saying it goes round that you then can't fault a business owner who needs that cash for his own business
and then
shuts down.
And then disenfranchise somebody else.
If the person is doing his business and he's keeping his own cash, he's not depositing it, and you're saying no, the person is the one bringing a problem, he's also solving his problem.
Okay. So
how did we get here in the first place?
I hear you. I understand.
Let me go on a break. When I come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, pioneer, positive force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A bleak.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison, it's not by Audison.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a fuge.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to be called such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just went that.
Yeah.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Frank, I would really like to hear from Nigerians to share their own experiences with us. You can call us on 081-076-41679, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Do you have any comments so far? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Mina says the naira is struggling in the forex market. At home, you people are still stressing the naira. Let the naira breathe. Don't suffocate it. The bulk of the blame, according to Mina, says should lie with the commercial banks and their staff anyway. The CBN needs to closely monitor these banks, and that will lead me to encourages POS. POS people don't have a limit. I had to confirm that during the break. So if you go to the banking hall, you can withdraw 20,000. You can't withdraw more than 20,000 naira. But if you go to POS, before this cash crunch, you can withdraw up to 100,000 naira from the same account.
Nice,
so
50,000.
obviously, we are encouraging the POS operators to make money off Nigeria to the detriment of Nigerians. So we are paying to withdraw money. You put a limit on the bank, but you don't put a limit on POS. If the CBN wants to be fair, the limit should cut across everywhere.
So according to this,
the POS is an option, not a better option. It's an equal option to the bank.
So according to Vanguard's report here, it says that the POS agents have said that their own limit was reduced to 50,000 naira per day. So it's a result. So
it should be the same. POS should be an equal option to the bank.
There's a cash need daily.
Then another angle of the business.
So compared to the banks.
Whether from bank you're withdrawing from bank or from POS, there's a cash need daily for some businesses. And that we must carry along with this, because those businesses will do whatever it takes to stay in business.
Yeah, I agree.
And as a policy-making bank like the CBN is, they should look into that as well. Some people transact solely in this way, and they must do their businesses. People will survive. You cannot leave people helpless and make them lock up and go in. This is not COVID-19 time when the palliatives did not go around and all of us shut up. People will find a way.
My own is that, I beg, tell us, Naira don't finish me.
No.
Because me, I still can't believe that it's in people's houses.
It's the cost of printing.
Let me tell you, even before this CBN last year, before this cash crunch last year, we were feeling magic. There was no cash problem. There was cash. Cash was everywhere, even with the people that were hoarding. So what has happened between that time and now that we are hearing no cash, no cash? Naira don't finish. I mean, I don't know whether I don't.
For the complaints by some Nigerians about the scarcity, CBN says there is adequate supply of the currency. So who is keeping it?
Yeah, and our policies cannot be. I'm sure you don't have no. It's not. There's still money. We can't have a blanket policy for such a diverse country. We cannot have one policy for the entire country. It's not fair to the people you are leading. So I can afford to live cashless. I have not felt when the cashless impact was happening earlier in the year. I didn't feel it until I had to pay my laborers who were requesting for cash before NIMBA bailed me out. I can afford to live a cashless life. Many people can't at that level. Working with the CBN can, but if you don't wear the shoes like YK said this morning, you cannot feel the pinch of the people if you don't wear it. So we are making policies in the offices by people who never deal with cash.
I don't understand.
People that are dealing with
help me
cash
understand.
every day.
Somebody just told you that there's cash. So who's making the policy here?
So we must admit the fact that people are responding to the trauma of the past and the fear of.
So is that government?
That's I started by blaming the people. Yeah. I started by blaming people, but they are responding to a government policy that caused them trauma and a continuous government policy that is causing them hardship. And we must admit that the previous government policy has traumatized Nigerians. The current government policy is causing hardship for Nigerians, and the people's reaction is leading to.
You know what I worry about, because those who actually need this money are not the cause of this problem. It is those of us. The middle class, let me tell you why. Because the women or the market women who need this cash, they know how to transact their own cash. They're not holding cash. They are transacting, going to the POS machine as required. But it is those of us that are privy to information of CBN. And we choose not to trust the system. Say, let me hold my 10 million, let me hold my 5 million.
For like 2 weeks before we planted, did not grow very well. And we're facing it now. So the impact of these policies are far-reaching. So the government must consider everybody before making policy. I started by blaming us because I feel like we must take responsibility. I still
think it's not.
But I will always still give us the government. The part of the government is for the government. We shouldn't be wicked to ourselves. I've seen people hold cash and they have a transaction to make and they say, I don't have cash to give you, I'll do transfer. But you have the cash. So
because we enter bus. Do you imagine during that cash issue, somebody went to the island and she was pricing something of about 3,000 naira. And she had cash, but she was insisting, I'll do transfer. The owner of the goods that knows that her value is 3,000 or more was forced to sell below so that she can have transport fare back to Ikorodu. Are we being realistic? Are we with our people? In the farmers market, no farmer at that time was selling paddy without cash. They insisted, pay me cash because I want to quickly go to market. I don't have time for this bank failed transaction and failed deposits.
I feel like we're talking.
So the system has not grown.
I feel like I'm
giving you examples.
I'm not against or oblivious of those hardships people are going through.
So how do you?
I'm saying the government is giving you one policy, which you and I refuse to believe, and that's why we choose to hoard our cash. The people who this is most affecting are the market women who need daily transactions. So I'm telling you that these people in the middle are the problems. And I refuse. That's I still say same thing.
The people in the middle are helpless, is what I am saying.
And I'm saying that they also must be considerate of the fact that the economy
withdrawal limit. So you in the middle who want to even do a transfer. You do transfer to somebody who will go out and they'll say, no, I don't use alert because alert no go buy him. Maybe his own goods is below that. So you want to buy in bulk. How do you do your business?
My own yam seller. My own yam seller collects the alert.
What do you want the government to
I sent someone to get something for me in the pharmacy 2 weeks ago. And what I sent him was 5,000. So I sent him 5,000. He now calls me that that 5,000, they are going to deduct something from his account. So I have to send him extra money.
Yes.
There's
50 naira withdrawal.
So they will the banks will collect that withdrawal. They will collect SMS alert. They will collect about 3 charges.
Don't worry.
On one transaction of 5,000. So now imagine. So I had to now send him 6,000. So that he could buy the thing of 5,000.
You don't put this batch rider money if you were going to send it on.
Okay, let me go on a break. So I just like to pay for anything. Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines and try to get a few experts to shed some light on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power. Ginger.
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I know I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
I think it's only that can be wicked.
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
and it's called what again?
subterfuge.
Subterfuge.
S-U-B-T-E-R-F-U-G-E.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah.
The nude wasn't like a game plan.
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like, it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just went.
Yeah.
Thanks for staying with us. We have with us Dr. Muda Yusuf to shed more light on this issue concerning the scarcity of Naira and what exactly is going on. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning.
So good to have you join us on the show today.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, sir, just by introduction, you're the Chief Executive Officer, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPP, and you'll be one of the perfect people to help us understand what's happening. Could you give us, in a nutshell, what you think is the cause of this scarcity?
Well, my suspicion is that there has been a major disruption in the supply of cash. And I think it is the responsibility of the central bank to trace that. Because from the data we have, there has not been any significant change in terms of the currency in circulation. There is no policy, that is targeted at reducing the amount of cash, unlike what we had early in the year. Currency in circulation is between 2.7 to 3 trillion naira. And that was the situation even before the crisis of the Naira redesign. So there was no cause for this kind of scarcity, unless there has been some disruption along the line. And from some of the information we are getting, the banks are not getting enough cash from the central bank. So something must have disrupted the system. And I think it's the responsibility of the CBN to trace where this is coming from.
Dr. Yusuf, please, I want to confirm, because you said that we don't have any data saying there's a disruption with the cash in circulation. So in terms of liquidity, we still have the cash in the country is still the cash in the country. Nobody has packed up the money to put somewhere. You are saying that the disruption in the flow of cash currently is from the CBN. Some people are saying the CBN is saying that it is from the customers, that the customers are holding money and not paying it to the bank. So do we have data backing up that the CBN isn't giving them money, or that the customers are not dropping money in the bank, so that we know where we are, who exactly is responsible?
Well, normally, because from what we heard from some of the banks, there are, regular supply of cash that they normally get from the central bank, which is not coming as it used to be. It is also possible that customers are holding, but for what reason? Because it doesn't sound logical. Why will customers be holding cash? The only reason perhaps could have been that, okay, maybe because of the Supreme Court judgment of, sometimes after the crisis of the Naira redesign, that says that by December, the old notes will not be tenable, but that has been vacated. So there is no basic
disruption started. How long do you think it will take them?
Well, it's not something that should take time, because we have data on the currency, we have the data on the movements of currency from the central bank to the banks, we have data on regularly the customers deposit cash. From that, within a few weeks, you should be able to put your fingers on where the problem is coming from. And in any case, this is our own local currency. We are not talking about foreign currency.
Dr. Yusuf,
we need to print more. Why not?
Dr. Yusuf, there's a theory that many Nigerians are the ones hoarding the cash in whether their vaults or they're keeping cash just because they are preempting a situation whereby there might be scarcity. If this is the case, talking hypothetically now, how do you think CBN can ensure that they are forced to deposit? Because we heard the reports that banks are complaining that depositors are not bringing the funds.
Well, no, CBN has taken some steps already. Normally, there is some kind of penalty or the amount of fees you pay for you to deposit some cash. Just this week or last week, the CBN has removed that.
Today.
Just to encourage more people to put cash in the system. So what the CBN can do is just that kind of incentive, that kind of policy statement. Beyond that, the only thing the CBN can do is just to make sure that we print more currency and make it available. It's not going to endanger anything. We already make a lot of progress in terms of cashless transaction. Even in the marketplace, a lot of people now take transfers. Retailers, we have a lot of progress has been made. After 2022, cashless transaction or electronic transaction was over 1,500 trillion naira. Electronic transfer, in terms of electronic payment, we have made a lot of progress. So this is a very strange development, but I don't think it's something that the CBN should allow to create any serious disruption.
Let me get in a few more questions for you. Go ahead, Waki.
Sir, do you think the Naira has finished?
Naira cannot finish. We are the owner of the Naira.
Amen.
we print the Naira. This one is not dollar. So Naira cannot finish. It's our own currency.
Dr. Yusuf, let me ask about the impact of printing new money. We all know that when the government prints money to solve whatever problem in the economy, there's an increase in inflation. And we're already fighting a very inflationary economy. So would the solution be to increase should CBN be printing more funds into the economy based on what? And how long do you, based on you have the more data than I do, so I can expect that you will know the time frame for CBN to print more notes. Do you think printing more notes is a solution? How would that impact on the economy?
No, it's not going to have any significant impact. You see, the printing of money that can hurt the economy is when you print money that is not backed by any production or anything. But this one, you are printing so that you can allow, it's not going to increase money supply as such. It is when you print outside the money supply, then you increase the money supply. But when you print, it's just a question of changing the proportion of cash as a proportion of money supply. Right now, the total money supply in the economy, that is including cash, money that people have in the bank, money that people have in fixed deposits, is anywhere between 45 to 50 trillion. The cash component of money is just about 3 trillion. So if we increase that cash component to maybe 4 trillion just to take care of this scarcity, it's not going to hurt the economy.
All right.
What the problem is with printing of money is when the CBN begins to credit the government account with trillions of naira without any productivity. That is what creates inflation.
Dr. Muda, you say
high-powered money. Yeah.
Right. Let me pick your brain a bit about what I read in the papers this morning concerning some of the key multinationals that are leaving our country. PZ Cousins, GlaxoSmithKline, Procter & Gamble, and experts are saying we might lose about 5,000 jobs. The economy might lose about 5,000 jobs. What's your own interpretation of this? Some will say it's bad. Others will say maybe to force us to look internally. What are your own thoughts on this?
No, there are a lot of what we call macroeconomic headwinds. That is the challenges that businesses are facing generally. This is not peculiar to these foreign companies. We talk to indigenous companies, particularly businesses that have high foreign exchange exposure. It's a major problem for everybody, not just the multinationals. The multinational, because of what they are making the headline. But many indigenous companies too have gone under as a result of all these challenges. So it's a question of the macroeconomic environment affecting businesses generally, whether they are foreign, whether they are local. But the impact is proportional to your exposure to foreign exchange. If foreign exchange content of your business is extremely high, the impact will be very severe. If energy consumption is very high, the impact will be very severe. That is what is happening. Secondly, for some of these sectors, the competition has become more intense, especially in the consumer product sector. Some of those that have led, for instance, you need to look at what their market share was 2 years ago and what their market share is today. A lot of other competitors have come into the space, and if you are in an environment and you are not dynamic with your business strategy, you can easily go under. So it's a combination of the macroeconomic environment issue as well as the inability of companies, some companies, to be flexible enough to read the environment and adjust quickly to the changing market landscape.
Okay. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so I like that you mentioned is how dependent your business is on Forex that, this affects that business. Some of these raw materials that these companies use, take for instance Procter & Gamble, some of the raw materials they use or they need are locally sourced. So why is dollar still affecting those businesses?
No, the percentage of raw materials they use will be close to 80%. Yes, if you check it, it will be close to 80%. So that is why the shock on them is so much. And they have established here for a long time. They have very big structures. Their overhead is heavy.
Very heavy.
Unlike the new entrance into the business now. If you go to the shelf, you see all manner of diapers and things, different brands.
Yeah.
It's a competition. And when the competition pressure is very heavy, if your overhead is big and you are not very flexible in your management, then you have challenges.
Okay.
So, on a policy level, do you think that the policy response of the government is appropriate for the kind of crisis that we're facing economically? I'm talking both regarding the CBN cash change, which is they said that they have already lifted they've lifted the fees that we usually have to pay to make deposits up until April, as well as the response of the combined Minister of Economy concerning the fact that governments, private companies, big companies are moving their production out and turning Nigeria into a largely import-based economy.
No, the big issue is for the government to create the environment that supports production. Because that is the big problem. I mean, look at GSK now. They stopped production, they started importing. Even before they finally exited. They have stopped their production for a long time. Now, the same model is what is being adopted now by Procter & Gamble. And what this is telling us is that the environment is not sufficiently supportive of those who are in production. So we need to do a lot more.
What policies would you advise?
Yes.
What policies would you advise, sir? Obviously, we don't have the right policies that is encouraging it. How do you think the government should approach this? What would you say the first 3-4 things they should do to make our economy more...
infrastructure.
Okay.
I mean, you cannot industrialize, you cannot produce if you don't have infrastructure, especially power. Secondly, we also need the fiscal policy to be able to protect those who are producing locally. Because if it increasingly becomes very cheap to import than to produce, those who are producing will not be able to survive. Number one, the fiscal policy must protect them. Then you have the issue of logistics. I mean, you produce, you want to distribute around the country, look at the state of the roads. You don't have the rail network to easily move things around. The cost of logistics is high. Then the cost of energy. I mean, look at the cost of diesel, look at the cost of PMS. All of this is because we are importing all these petroleum products. So if we're able to progress with all these local refineries and so on, that will also help us to deal with some of these challenges.
So, I mean, let me be sure I get, because it's important for our viewers to have a better understanding, because we have regular Nigerians who listen to the show and they want to, they need us to be able to break down complex and integrate government policies. So, from what Nigerians are thinking, okay, so Dangote Refinery should receive its load last week Friday. They should start producing. When they start producing, hopefully, according to many Nigerians are thinking, that means we don't have to keep importing so many and so much refined crude, right? If we do that, that secures some of our dollars. I'm just thinking, hypothetically speaking now. Now, if that happens, would that therefore be able to invest in some of this infrastructure that you are asking? You are saying that government, we need infrastructure to help build businesses and produce and manufacture goods. Because many of these companies that are here, they are also a bit of a strain on this dollar that we don't have. So, is there a silver lining with the fact that these big companies are leaving? Because the truth is that we can't even afford to have them anymore. Now let's look within and start building our own PZ cousins and start building our own GlaxoSmithKline, having our own companies where it's now grown locally.
Repatriate the money.
How would that help?
No, it's going to help a great deal. If, for instance, we are able to be self-sufficient in terms of petroleum products, for instance, you know, on a monthly basis, we spend close to $1 billion or more on importation of petroleum products. So imagine we're able to conserve that domestically, you know, between the Dangote refinery and all the government refineries. That will ease the pressure on forex. You know, the forex situation is something that has affected practically all businesses. So if we're able to ease that, I mean, that will go a long way. Then beyond that, when these refineries work, many of these raw materials that we also import, because the problem with our manufacturing sector is that we are also highly import dependent in manufacturing. This is also a major shortcoming in the structure of our industrialization. But the beauty of manufacturing is that you are able to source significantly your raw material. So, locally. So if you have these refineries working, you have the petrochemicals, all these people who produce the chemical products, plastic products, packaging products, a lot of these things and a lot of these things come from petrochemicals. So we're able to conserve all of that. We'll be able to reduce pressure on forex. We'll be able to be more competitive globally.
Right.
Because the beauty of an economy is not just about your domestic market. It's also about your ability to export. So that you can scale. Your scale can increase, your cost of production can drop.
All right.
So these things are interrelated and they have a way of ensuring that you have a much better economy.
Right. All right, let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll try to wrap up this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right.
Not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Leifa had a very, very interesting.
You wouldn't want to work with who? Not
There's no judgment.
No, and I respect.
They'll judge you definitely,
I respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentment
on you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Man, just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
when they are nice divorcees,
I would just.
What if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people. You cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm okay. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10k, take 15k. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good boss.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll...
Thanks for staying with us. Sir, are you still there? Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so we're going to wrapping up on this, but final question. Go ahead.
So we have someone saying you can't hoard something that is abundantly available. Talking to Tokwe Ehi. He says hoarding only makes a bad situation worse. Sir, do you think people are hoarding this cash or that there's no cash in circulation? There's no cash.
The point is that there is no logic in hoarding it. Why would anybody hoard it? So I believe that there is still a major issue with supply from the source.
Oh, good.
I think so. Because it doesn't make sense to hoard, you hoard the cash to do what? To achieve what?
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. Unless there's a deliberate effort to sabotage the system. That is the only way we can explain that. Because there's nothing to gain. You hoard cash to achieve what? So I don't believe so much in the theory of this hoarding.
All right. Let me let you go, Dr. Amuda Yusuf. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for your insights on this matter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
My
very
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take a few comments on social media before we wrap up on this segment.
Franklin,
you have any? Go ahead.
Franklin Benjamin says, I don't agree that this cash crunch is a policy issue. The same policy has been in play all year long. We should not always blame government and regulatory agencies for everything. Let's call out the merchant banks and the POS operators. He again says, once the CBN started moves to settle its obligations and reassure investors.
Corey Michael says, I was a banker back in 2010. A bank that relies on customers' deposits to run operations are not serious. There are other ways banks source for cash loans. Murtala Akoni says, last year a lot of lives got lost while a series of businesses collapsed. As a result of this menace, they have started again.
Okay. Any other ones, okay?
Yes, so we have people saying that they are shocked by what is happening. Some are saying they're not shocked by what is happening. I'm seeing Dame Ebika says the economy will keep crashing if we don't produce. Nigeria depends so much on import and it's bad. Ghanaian says, okay.
Good morning. Hello, you're there. Ade, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yes, I know. What I want to say is this, Mariah, if somebody has headache and and you go to doctor, went and took malaria tablet, it won't cure it. Last year, I appealed to you on TVC to invite Central Bank Governor or the deputy. Why do we need to give 2 references to open an account? You say your producer will do it. You all had you. You never did anything. Today you are inviting Dr. Muda. He can't solve the problem. Invite Central Bank Governor or the deputy. We have a lot of questions.
Thank you.
I agree with Ade that you should look into the 2 referral policy to open an account. You know, I couldn't even finish opening my corporate account with a particular bank. I got 1 referral. It has to be a corporate referral. And I got 1. You that you want to open account, Kukuma get the next one. They made it tough. And they said later that I had an incomplete account opening issue because of that referral issue. And I don't have a corporate account.
Right.
Minatipi says anyone who doesn't have a problem with people holding cash shouldn't complain about being overcharged by POS operators or being unable to withdraw at banks. Then Corey Michael says, Tokwe, I put it to you that you cannot afford to live a cashless life. Then Fiona says, must something always be scarce in Nigeria?
A beef is not fuel, it's
not fuel.
It's not fuel,
electricity. Scarce. Cash with scarce.
That's the real key question. Must there always be some
people are calling me out for saying that people are holding cash based on what Dr. Muda said. Well, I did not say people are holding cash based on my own intel. I'm saying people are holding cash based on what the CBN put out in the newspapers as the reason they didn't have cash in the banks. So
no, CBN is even saying that, listen, there's no reason that there shouldn't be cash because all the commercial banks have enough cash. Commercial bank haven't come out to say I don't have, but for whatever reason they're not giving us cash. So we're suspecting who else will be holding cash. It's probably Nigerians who are holding cash. Maybe not you watching, but there are other Nigerians who probably have cash, who can afford it. They have mansions, they have vaults in their houses. they are keeping the money in their house for whatever reason. Because CBN is saying there's no reason for these banks not to have. Banks have not come out to say anything, but they'll say I don't have cash. So who is lying? We have to wrap up on
this. This is how they started last year. Please, that is on my own. Say if this night I don't finish, they should tell us so make we know what we go do.
All right, that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to our final Let's Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Vanguard the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So the political crisis rocking Rivers State House of Assembly took a new turn as 27 out of 31 lawmakers in the State House defected to APC. According to reports, the defected lawmakers cited divisions within the PDP as reason for their defection. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Because it seems to many that they are following Wike. Now, the Honorable Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, he's still in PDP. People are saying that he may be fueling some of this crisis. Others are suggesting that this might be a possible impeachment threat to the current governor. What are your own general thoughts? I mean, let's just, before we hear officially from the Hurricane Wike and others on this matter, we'd like to hear Nigerians' views. What are your own views on this defection? And the worry that Nigerians always say that all the APC, PDP, they're all the same thing. They're all just shuffling and shuffling. There's no real ideology to any party. What are your thoughts? Call us on 081-076-41679, 090-241-63440. Tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. YK.
Me, I've been watching them. And the reason the lawmakers are giving for leaving PDP is because they don't care about us. The party doesn't care about us. You know, when they burnt the assembly, we didn't even hear from anybody. We didn't hear. They didn't call us. They didn't come and they didn't come and imagine. My life was in danger. This is, I've forgotten his name. Imagine my life was in danger. They didn't come and call me. They didn't say anything. Then, so there are 32 law members. One died last week. Oh. The one that died now makes them 31. They're out of that 31. 27 left PDP to join APC. Now PDP, they have now gone to court. No, they have gone to INEC. The INEC should remove them and do fresh election. Do fresh election. That they are no more representing them. So now we are waiting for INEC to reply. Okay. If they are going to do fresh election to bring new PDP members, or we are going to be stuck with the APC members in Rivers State.
What is it? The House of Assembly will not be.
Me, I have a conspiracy theory on this.
What's your own conspiracy?
So, we've been there before. The law requires that your party must have a crisis for you to legitimately defect and go to another party. And so when there's that crisis, you can validly defect. If they go to any court, the court will say there was a crisis and you needed a new platform, party platform. Because in our electoral act, the parties are the ones who win the elected positions, not individuals. So for you to go as an individual, Ile must be upside down. There must be yam pepper scatter at home. And the minister who is now like the godfather of Rivers State politics had to get his ministerial appointment under a different party. Maybe with an agreement that, don't worry, the whole state will follow me. And without a crisis, they cannot validly follow him. If anybody goes to court, we have the precedents to show that they will lose their offices, their positions to the parties, and if they won on the platform of the PDP. So they caused a crisis. I believe it was a man-made crisis. Yes, where
what's the crisis?
I'm coming there. Where the governor was supposedly attacked by the police and the internal district because of the speaker, and then they went to the house of the speaker, some other boys, thugs, and went to go and break wall, and that one thought his life was at risk. And so now the crisis refused to end, even though they avoided it. It just didn't end until these 27 lawmakers yesterday decided to do dance Azonto and all of that for us with their 27 defection capacity. But even yesterday, the PDP and the SDP lawmakers, their members and APC members within the state then claimed that they were also defecting to APC. The PDP in retaliation to the 27 lawmakers who defected to the APC. I was like, this script writing is like I can write this film by myself. That's the way I saw it at home. That this conspiracy just to legitimize the defections, nothing more. So while you are worried, leave them. Everything will be all right. Last, it's the governor that will now join last before the minister. That's where I see it. Nothing is happening.
So you believe that the governor will join?
Well. Yes, the governor
want to scatter the ground first.
Yes, scatter the ground. Let them go legitimately. These are the people who will claim to impeach him. When the governor see that they have gone and is legitimized, governor himself will not be like, and we were holding PDP. PDP will not rally around him. Eventually, the governor will say, let me not be out of my people. They are my people. You will join. It would have been legitimized.
These are all conspiracy theories. The fact is, the former governor of Rivers State, Wike, has said that it is the current governor is importing crisis for himself within the state. He said he is not worried because he is a politician and he knows other states are suffering because of debt. So he was quoting that he doesn't like ingrates, was his voice. Let me tell you, I don't like ingrates. I can't stand it. What is happening now in Rivers is what Odili said in his book. Give a man power and money, then you will know the person. If you don't give a man power and money, you won't know the person. He said he's not worried, that he left projects for him to commission so he would showcase during his 100 days. Then politics came in. And God that gives power on a power platter of gold where there is no crisis. The federal government is not fighting him. Nobody at home is fighting him. He is the one trying to create crisis for himself. That's according to Governor Wike, who is the immediate past governor of Rivers State, who people are alleging is the reason for this crisis. And he gave this interview based on people asking him what his part was. People don't just wake up and say, the governor is being attacked. The governor doesn't wake up and say he's being attacked for nothing. The state assembly wouldn't just decamp for nothing. This is all man-made crisis, like Nima said. What the objective is might differ, but it is purely man-made, purely political, and highly unnecessary. And I think that people of Rivers State need to speak up for themselves, because while they are playing politics, people's projects would, the development that the citizens are hoping to achieve will not happen, because right now, from one party to the other, it is politics. How are the assembly able to carry out oversight function on the health situation, on the roads, on the infrastructural development that is expected within the state? They cannot do it because they are busy going from one party to another party.
I see. Guess what? The governor just did the budget, just sent a budget of renewed hope. They say that one is paper. Nobody's looking at budget right now.
They're playing politics.
Well, you see, it's quite disturbing for me because, you know, we're trying to get young people to believe in government, to believe in the processes, to believe in the system. And when they see stuff like this, it's very, very unattractive for a young person to want to get involved in politics, because the truth is that young people are the future of this country. And we must people must be intentional about setting political standards for young people, where you have political legacies. I mean, one thing I like, you can fault, fire, or shave from here to tomorrow. the man will say, I might spark for my people in PDP, but for me to leave my party to APC, forget about it. He will stay where he is because that's who he is. Very, very principled man. There are not a lot of principled politicians in this country where, come rain or shine, they stay put where they are. These are just career politicians. They're the only way they're able to move around because it's not about policies, it's not about principles, it's not about vision.
Not about their people.
Case in question.
Most important, it's not about their people.
Case in question, let me put up a defense for Wike. The PDP, do they deserve the Wike strategy?
Let me pause you for a second. Yeah, the reason why I'll pause you is because my brother, my oldest brother, he's a fan of Raiders. I can't remember which states, with one football, American football, Raiders. And he's been supporting them for years. While I was living in the US, many years, and he never misses their games. When they goof, when they win, he's there. And you'll be thinking, these guys are losers. They've been losing for years. Why are you still following these guys? Till tomorrow, if you enter his house, everywhere is Raiders. He buys all his the merchandise is Raiders. His kids have grown up to love
loyalty.
Even his for basketball, everybody goes around the world for this various team. And this is one when they the point is there will be times even if your party is failing, even if things are horrible right now for PDP or whichever party, it's the ideology of why you joined them in the first place. That should hold you and stand. That shows integrity.
Because you quoted Fire
loyalty.
This is not a case of this is not a case of your party failing. This is your party betraying. Details are out there.
1 second, Nima.
Wike printed bosses and attended a primary, and before his eyes saw magic play out. Do you think that his leg walk comfortably back home? He went on the paper. He started to pay press men. I've not seen a governor that paid for press coverage like Wike. Everyday press briefing. 4 at least of the most national, most top-line news agencies.
Why can't you fix your party? Why must you that?
If the party refused to be fixed, party brought in Atiku and planted him on Wike, ran a primaries where Tambuwa on that day said, I'm dropping my ambition for Atiku, and Wike open mouth drop. This is the party that everybody in the country knew was failing. Atiku was somewhere outside the country. Wike held that party, funded that party single-handedly for that whole term before the last administration.
Where are you going now? See, let's not go to PDP.
Don't mind moving, man.
This one is right now. That governor that is there, it is Wike that put him. Is it you that put him there? It is Wike's person.
Yeah.
But now because he didn't do Wike's bidding, so that's all
we all love now.
Let me talk about
he said, listen. He says the minister was responding to questions as to whether or not he masterminded the impeachment moves against the governor, and he says Fubara should have confronted him on the issue rather than send people to burn the Halo chambers. He said, if they are impeaching you, why did you call me? Assuming I'm the one who plotted it, did you say, sir, they want to impeach me? Come on. You have he's loaded it.
Let me let Sokwa jump in the Wike for a second.
Over
everybody.
The governor. And that one, when the power entered his hand, when he entered the seat of power, he did like this.
He changed.
Power
with this.
No. So there are many things.
Excellent. My own problem is this is what the politicians are doing in our lives.
And for me, it's not really about the politics. I'm not interested in their politics. My own is leaving a legacy for young people. We want them to participate in politics. I can't be seeing this and be interested in politics. It's really disheartening. Come on, jump. Come on.
So I was going to.
I agree with you. Today we are on the same page.
I was going to, on a lighter note, talk about how my husband's Arsenal shirt generated conversation in Singapore where somebody was saying, is Mr. Mark, because he has his name at the back, you are supporting Arsenal? Why? I said, yeah. You can imagine my heartbreak. He said, so why are you still supporting Arsenal? I said, it's always heartbreaking. So this Sunday, there was a match. Or Sunday, he called me, said he's watching him, and I say, oh, Bele, I feel for you. And indeed, I felt for him. But it's about being loyal. We've had perpetual crisis in Rivers State once the power is moving from one person to the other. leaders in Nigeria tend to be very, very political leaders. When they step out of power, don't understand how to relinquish power to the next person. We don't know how to hand over power to the next person. So when somebody has said the state has a new governor, why would the previous governor be submitting list of commissioners, submitting list of projects, and who they should be giving the projects to? We've heard several stories of our governors have left office, but essentially every contract is still going through their own person. They're getting kickback. Their demands of amount of money that should be paid to them is wrong, and we can't evade that there must be some form of power play. So Wike is accusing on national television to print paper that a sitting governor in a state is an ingrate.
Imagine,
you know, like, and you have stepped out of the place. You are desecrating what's the word?
Someone just sent me a text.
Desecrating the position of governor in your state. Oburugo is very bad, because we've seen other states that you might not be happy with what is going on, but when you ask the person that left, the person say, I'm supporting the way I can support. I am writing letters, I'm sending messages to support the person. But for you to openly come out and talk down on the governor of your state, you are not supporting your state. Your people will, no matter how the good things you've done in that state, you are watering down your legacy by playing party politics.
Reverse politics have never been about people. It has always been about the big man. From Amechi, from Odili to Amechi to Wike, it's always been about the big man. Now, who big pass now we they talk about? Yes.
Now, Amechi, in his own time, he did the same. Now, they have turned him to toothless bulldog.
No, he's now the righteous one. He's the one that is now preaching, calling out what is bad. It's just sad. And we know all the ideals. But me, I'm not even bothered about the politics between Wike and Fubara. I know that maybe they themselves in my conspiracy plan are just defecting.
Yeah, they're still coming.
Are just legitimizing defection. All of them. There's no really problem. But you know, the person that have chest to chest it,
I'll be very shocked
if if you now put Wike's issue on against the PDP as an issue, then you didn't know the history of why Wike ended up where he is, why he had to do what he did. There was supposed to be a South-South ticket in the PDP.
We understand.
And then they played the game.
We took the story.
And he worked hard for years towards it. And then you people now suddenly smart up and do the northern ticket. Of course, what you see is what you should.
That can be resolved within the party.
That is issue that can be resolved. That's even a federal.
Has it been resolved?
No, that's a federal issue. Let's not mix issues together, because it will cause confusion to those that are trying to understand what's happening in their states. And it's sad that nobody from Rivers State has called. It is a political issue. While the politics is going on, the citizens are not getting governance. Nobody is checking on what is happening to the citizens. What is happening in the Ministry of Education? What is happening in the Ministry of Health? What is happening in the Ministry of Labour? What is happening in the Ministry of Roads? What is happening in all of Rivers State, while Rivers State's House of Assembly people are decamping to APC? Budget is not being passed. We are not talking about governance anymore. We are talking about partisan politics when there is crisis in this country. So for me, it is not a federal issue.
Let's talk about Rivers.
Let me just understand. It is within the state issue. The issue now is somebody who has stepped out of being a governor. The former governor feels like the new governor is not loyal to him, and there is young pepper scatter within the state.
Please, let me say this. So let's talk about the state. This happened in Edo State in the last administration, where the governor refused to what's it called? Swear in the house.
Yeah.
Open the house. There's a word for, you know, swearing in the lawmakers, declaring the house open or something that the governor had to do. But in Rivers State, how dare the governor that is having crisis with their godfather, all of them godfather, we told emolument for lawmakers. What are you playing? Is it politics like that? That's what they play. It means that some of you us are not really politicians. You come into a state, you are in crisis. You now owed 27 lawmakers money.
They said they held their own.
And they have that issue on ground. Lawmakers did not get emolument for last month. Some of the crisis on ground in Rivers State. The governor must play the politics that brought him into office. Politics of the man of God that been a godfather. What? Just saying.
I don't know.
Play your politics till you're secure enough. One time I'll invite it to Kini Kobere, Koking Wo Ikuto Pababe. I bought this.
Yes,
someone sent me a text.
I have not reached.
Don't mind those politicians. They are all alawadas. PDP,
comedians.
All of them, same
Very
people.
carry.
They're just look.
I have to wrap up. For me, as I said, I don't really care about the
salaries
politics or because politics in itself is a game where if you know how to play the game, you play the game. But I just feel that in all you're doing, you must understand that there are people watching you. There are the citizens within that state that deserve governance. that deserve to be led, not to be witnessing all this rancor. And also, there are young people who we're trying to attract into politics, and this for me is also, for me, is beyond their political games. I just don't even want to see it.
I love what you're saying, because what is going to happen is the youth will just start to jackpot.
Exactly.
Because there's no hope for them. The politicians are showing them that there is no hope.
Yes, it's totally irresponsible.
I look at there's this text that the Lawmakers just put there. Ogoni youth embark on solidarity march in support of River State Governor.
That's what they use young people for. Come out and rear, come and walk, carry banner.
Their allowances, Nima, I don't know where you got the information from. Everything I've checked online, their allowances and their salaries were not withheld.
Their emolument was withheld, and that's why the lawmakers is in the news.
That's why they left. That's why they're the campaign.
No, that they had a crisis over the issue. I'm just saying that you too, that you want your house in order, you want your state in control.
Play the politics we play.
Play the politics that got you in office.
They have to wrap up. Unfortunately, that's all we can take.
The newspapers.
Today show, but we wish them the best in River State. That's all we can take. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.